you say, which to me is paradoxical, is antithetical, I've heard you say that those who fear commitment are often the ones who crave connection the most. That doesn't even go together. Explain it.
No. There's no explaining to it. It is just what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Their heart longs for intimacy, but they fear of being hurt. They have a fear of being hurt, rejected, trapped, or...
Nobody wants to be hurt.
Yeah, nobody wants to be hurt, but that is their fear.
Okay. So if I want closeness, but I fear getting close, then we've already talked about how I can kind of self-sabotage. I don't even realize I'm doing it. I can withdraw. I can feel lonely. I can repeat. So why do I keep pushing on? Okay. Why do I keep pushing away from what? Oh my gosh, I forgot what I was going to say. from what I really want. Not because I forgot, but by looking at you, I forgot.
Okay, keep your focus.
Are we still live? Oh, okay. So
Get yourself together.
Yeah. So why do I keep pushing away from what I actually want?
Well, like I say, it's the fear of that emotional connection that you want, that you might get rejected, that you might get hurt. And so I do pull away. But like I say, I tell people, I've told you, everybody, being in a relationship is a risk, but it's the risk you want to take to find that one. And like I say, like you said in one of the other episodes, not everybody don't need to be in relationships. Did you say that? Well, I think you said
not everybody needs to be
parents. You did say that.
Yeah, no.
Well, everybody don't need to necessarily be in a relationship.
Really?
But, yeah.
Kind of harsh, isn't it?
Well, not everybody want to be in relationships.
Okay.
But we are relationship people.
Now you mean romantic
relations. You need relationships.
Yeah.
But not necessarily a romantic relationship.
I got you.
And that's okay. I just want to make sure everybody knows that.
So you say oftentimes a commitment fear is not so much I don't want to be in a relationship. It's more I don't want to experience the pain that the risk I'm taking may actually cause.
That's exactly right. That is it. Absolutely.
That's some interesting stuff, Teresa.
I know. I tell you.
So, okay, if I'm in a relationship or starting at the beginning of a relationship, what are some behaviors that I could notice or be aware of that reveal fear of commitment?
Okay, so sabotaging closeness. Okay, let me show you what that looks like.
Show me what that looks like.
All right. It's like picking fights when things are going well.
Who does that?
It happens. And this happens in marriages too, but I mean, of course, this is
Let's start with the first one. So if I have a fear of being in a relationship and I see that things are going well, I've seen this in the movies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've actually ever seen it, but one of the things I do is I'm going to create a fight. Do I know, am I aware that I'm trying to sabotage? What am I
I don't
thinking?
think you know at the moment. You're just trying to get away from a feeling that you're feeling because you're afraid of. It's usually a feeling of connection, you really like the person.
So what, things are going so good.
Yeah.
But I feel like I need to.
Let me stop it. I don't trust it. So, yeah. So pulling away emotionally after a moment of connection. That's another way to sabotage closeness.
Okay.
It also looks like ghosting and withdrawing just when the relationship deepens. That's the same thing. Flirting with others and acting disinterested to create a distance. Now that's really emotional immaturity. I just absolutely don't like that. But anyway, it does sabotage closeness. So the closer we get, the more I want to push away. That's that whole sabotage closeness idea.
And I know that baggage is a big deal. And I understand that we all have baggage.
We do.
So I guess I didn't understand how much, because you talk about the fear of closeness often stems from the belief that a person believes that intimacy is going to equal eventual pain or loss. So the person is so convinced, because I guess that's been their experience, they're so convinced, I know where this is going to end up. So they go ahead and make it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, that's it.
Keep going, Teresa.
So gently, I guess, usually I try to help them be aware of what's happening, the patterns that they're experiencing. And a lot of times they'll say, wow, I guess I did do that, And then I'll talk to them about past relation wounds, if there was something there. to know that just because that happened back there, it doesn't mean that it has to happen here and you can do something about it. So I help them learn to stay emotionally present when they feel vulnerable instead of running away from it. Don't run from it. Walk into it. Experience it. And sometimes it takes a while to get them there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next thing that you're going to mention, I want to be careful. I want to be careful to draw the distinction. You talk about don't overanalyze flaws.
Mm-hmm.
But, ladies and gentlemen, we spend a lot of time in past shows talking about don't ignore, well, here's how we phrased it, don't ignore red flags.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so help me reconcile. Geez, Teresa, you're confusing me. On the one hand, you said don't ignore red flags. Now you say don't overanalyze flaws. How do I know I'm not too far on one side or the other?
But let me bring us back here. We're talking about the behaviors that reveals fear.
Yeah. So you're saying one of the behaviors that would reveal fear is overanalyzing flaws.
Yeah.
But also you have told me not to ignore red flags. So how do I know that I'm overanalyzing a flaw versus ignoring a real red flag that I should not ignore?
Oh, you're asking a deep question. Let me just kind of help you look at the overanalyzing
Okay,
flaws and what they look like. It
Go.
looks like
Then maybe I'll see the difference myself. Okay,
I
go.
like them, but their laugh is kind of annoying.
Well, that's just stupid.
They're great, but I just don't feel that spark anymore.
Now, wait a minute. People are dating. These are people who are dating. Okay,
So you're overanalyzing the flaws.
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
can't see myself with this person who doesn't like the same kind of music I like.
Okay, yeah. Now I bet it's
Now
clear to
you
me.
see what
It's
I'm
clear to me. Those aren't red flags.
Right.
Are they even flaws?
Well, they're making this up in their head that is a flaw for them because they're trying to pull away once again.
Okay, got you. So
this hyper focus, what we call on the flaws, is often a fear in disguise. That's what it is. It's just fear in disguise. It's a mental escape. It kind of protects against attachment. You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do.
So this person convinces themselves that this relationship isn't really viable. So they don't have a face, they don't have.
So one thing
they don't have to face their discomfort.
One thing I want our listeners to do while we're walking through this is not like some of us do with the pastor's sermon. Man,
what they do?
Girl, I wish Shamika was here to hear this.
Shamika.
Yeah, I mean, not her real name. You know how y'all do?
Uh-huh.
As opposed to going like, what could I have learned from this? So as you're listening to this, I want you to move beyond. That reminds me of Robert, the last guy I dated. Or that reminds me of Michelle. I mean, we want you to start with you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Look in the mirror before you look out the window.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So we want you to start with you. Are you doing this? And you're sitting here, okay, why don't I have successful relationships? And you may not have realized, man, I actually have a fear of being in a relationship. Or somebody else may be going, man, I actually realize I have a fear of not being in a relationship.
Or I see myself pulling away.
Yeah. So I really want you guys thinking about this as I'm thinking about it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm not planning on pulling away, but I'm not going to pull away.
Okay.
Keep going.
All right. So really another one could be saying I'm not ready, but never exploring why.
Okay.
So that's one of the behaviors. And it might look like or sound like I'm just not really ready for something serious. They might say something like that. And then, of course, this isn't a good time in my life.
Well, then why did you start the relationship?
I know it. That's what I would think. However, that people do that.
Okay.
I want to wait until I'm healed.
I agree with that.
I think that's one.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying those are some of the behaviors you see when which is fear is really all behind that.